I'm an 18-year-old guy, and my brother is a tween. He isn't actually my brother. He's my cousin adopted from birth because his mother was an addict and unfit to care for him. As such, he has a very severe learning disability. His math and reading skills are that of someone half his age. Best case scenario, 4 years younger. He's been through summer school his entire life and a couple of fruitless programs. And I don't tutor him because he's kind of an ass to me for no reason, and I want nothing to do with him when I'm out of here. Recently, my parents found a tutoring program specializing in learning disabilities and will give it a shot. The problem is, my dad was laid off due to the global issue, and only my older sister and I are working. And as such, they don't have too much money to afford it, but really feel the need to help my brother get what he needs. Earlier this week, my parents sat us down. They told us that it's gotten to the point where my brother might be held back. He really needs that tutoring. And because we are his older siblings and they're not employed, my sister and I will foot some of the bill. We immediately objected to this. My sister said they have no right to do that. I said that my brother is not my responsibility. Still, they shut us down and said that we're a family and families help each other. I realized that being their joint ownership of my current bank account, they can take funds out of it without my knowledge. I would have no recourse. So I opened up a new account at a different bank and scheduled a wire transfer later that night. The transfer went through today, and my parents got a notification and began to get on me about it. I told them that it's my hard-earned money, and I could not have it at risk of being garnished. Still, they yelled at me, saying that I need to help to contribute to my brother, and told me about how they've tried for so long to help him out, and for me to not stand up for him is very low of me. Now I'm feeling bad for this. I don't want my brother to suffer, but I don't want them touching my money. Not the idiot. If your parents want to help him, then they should stop talking and start working. You have every right to protect your money and your future. Right? If OP and his sister both found jobs out of high school with no training, Mom and Dad can get their asses out and pound the pavement till they find something. But given their level of entitlement, I'm guessing they think minimum wages jobs are beneath them. Hey, since Dad got laid off and now has free time, maybe he can tutor the kid himself instead of resorting to theft. As soon as you said it's your money and you're 18, nope, never the idiot. You are not his parent, and paying for tutoring, etc. is a parent thing. And it sounds like they didn't ask, but told you that you were giving them the money. You are the idiot. Your brother isn't your or your sister's responsibility, and you have every right to take agency of your own bank account and money. Still, if you and your sister are both adults and earning your own money while living cost-free at your parents', they have every right to kick you out and rent those rooms for profit to pay for your brother's tuition. I'm guessing they haven't done that because you're family. I'm gonna have to disagree here. The parents made a choice to adopt, and it doesn't work that way. Sure, they can kick them out, but good luck renting out rooms in a shared house with a young child that, more often doesn't know how to behave. Most would pass up that offer. Their parents want them to finance their style of living and their brother's schooling because neither of their parents work, so it's not a one-time thing while they get back on their feet. OP, if you're in the US, your brother is probably entitled to additional help at no cost through the school system. He would need a 504 or IEP due to his medical disability. The school would then help set up appropriate support and accommodations. If parents have actually gotten him a diagnosis, he's probably eligible for additional support, services, and funds through the state. Traditional tutoring may not help your brother. He needs specialized education based on his disability. Yes, not the idiot at all. Your parents are trying to do what's called forced parentalization. Your brother is not your responsibility to raise or help raise in any way. You did the correct thing in separating your finances from that account. Make sure your direct deposit goes into your new account. I would also recommend you and your sister move out as soon as possible and limit contact with your parents. Otherwise, they will try to manipulate the money out of you. I have a corgi named Lila. She is perfectly healthy and was perfectly content with the dog food I've always purchased her. My boyfriend dog sat for me because I had to go on a week-long business trip to Dubai. The trip ended up getting extended by 3 days, due to flight delays and cancellations following a pretty nasty storm. Keep in mind that I buy the giant bag, 50 pounds of dog food, and it literally lasts damn near a month. This bag of food costs me roughly $40 depending on which store I go to. Vet recommended brand, not cheap off-brand. And the only reason I get it that cheap is with my discount because they sell it at her groomers. When I get home, I notice that my dog has put on a bit of weight. Not enough to be concerning, but her belly is definitely pudgier. When I get to my kitchen, I notice that her 50-pound bag of food is untouched, and beside it is a 25-pound bag of organic steak and chicken or something or other bag of food with a tag of $79.99 still on it. He purchased it with the money I left him for her in case of emergencies. We have porcupines that roam my yard, so I thought emergency vet situation, not emergency she needs better food. Apparently when I was gone, my boyfriend's mother came by, not uncommon. Basically, she told him the food I had been feeding her is crap and convinced him to switch over to this expensive brand. Not only that, but she also started feeding my dog literal cut-up meat like stuck steak chunks or chicken chunks in my dog's bowl. Since I have been home, my pup has outright refused to touch the food she has eaten her entire life. Now she has even started to get up on the table when I'm preparing meals to try to get the people's food, a habit I broke her of nearly a year and a half ago. To say I'm absolutely livid would be an understatement. The $40 bag I buy her is still a stretch due to my financial state. I just went through a budget cut and property tax increase of 9.8%, so I flipped out. I only flipped when my boyfriend's mom came over and immediately rummaging through her purse and grabbing steak bits that she brought over from my dog. I have always been clear on no table scraps, always. The dog food was just the icing on the cake. I flipped. Now I look absolutely crazy and have been deemed a crazy idiot. Not the idiot. As someone who has a dog with significant food allergies, I would be absolutely livid. I drop hundreds on allergy treatments, and I'm very cautious about what my dog eats. So if someone decided it wasn't good enough and changed it without asking, I'd be furious. In addition, letting a dog get away with things you said no to teaches them to push that boundary again. They literally undid your training. That takes time and effort to build, so not okay. Not the idiot. If you get pregnant, your mother-in-law will for sure overstep boundaries with your child, like she did with your dog. She seems very controlling and wants everything her way. She didn't even consider if the dog liked that food. She thought it was crappy, so the healthy dog needs something better, even if he's totally fine with his current food. Yeah, wait until you have children with this mother-in-law. She's a special person. This is a future grandma that doesn't give a crap what mom wants for the kids, and a dad who will do whatever his mommy wants him to. I'm a 34-year-old male, and I have a tween daughter we call Susan. She's a wonderful child. When I met her mom, I did my best to know Susan because her dad isn't in the picture and has no desire to be. So I officially adopted her the day of our wedding and surprised her, so she knew I was now her dad and she was my daughter. Susan is normally an active kid, but since global issue and now summer break, I have noticed that she will stay on the couch all day watching TV, playing video games, and just not do much of anything. Because of this, she is gaining very noticeable weight. I spoke to my wife about it, but she says Susan is fine and it's summer, so it's okay if she wants to watch TV and eat junk food. I get that, but I don't want Susan to develop an unhealthy habit. So I created the father-daughter walk to get her moving a bit. We talked about the day, what's going on, things we would like to do, and so on, for 30 minutes. Slowly I turned the walk into a jog, then a run. Susan struggled some at first, but now she can keep up with me. I love it since she gets a bit of a workout every day, and I get to spend time with her. Well, my wife isn't happy. She confronted me, saying I was fat-shaming our daughter and forcing her to exercise when she's a kid. Kids are supposed to watch TV and eat junk food. She's telling Susan she doesn't have to come for a run with me, buys large amounts of Susan's favorite snacks, and is encouraging her to binge watch TV and just be a kid. She says I'm trying to push lifestyle habits onto my daughter, and I'm embarrassed by her. It led to a couple arguments, and now she's saying she might send Susan to go stay with her grandparents for the rest of the summer. I'm just trying to help her become more active. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. How is you going for a run pushing lifestyle habits on her, but mom buying her junk food isn't? You didn't fat shame her. You created an activity for both of you to do together. And unless you left significant facts out, she likes it. So yeah, unless she had to be coaxed into running with you and hates it, you are not wrong. A healthy active lifestyle is the best thing to push on your kid. Your wife kinda sucks here. Intentionally stocking the house with unhealthy food is a really crappy thing to do to a child. The kid should at least have the choice of healthy foods around. You kinda suck too for making this about weight loss and looking a certain way, rather than just saying your daughter should build healthy habits. Making her run seems a bit much, especially if she doesn't like it. Walking and having a conversation about the day honestly seems like a better way for your daughter to learn that exercise isn't about punishing yourself for the food you eat. So my vote is everyone's the idiot here. Encouraging a child to eat junk food and binge watch TV is abuse. There, I said it. Of course, eating junk food and watching TV can be a great part of childhood, but it's not behavior that should be encouraged. Being active and running around is an essential part of a healthy childhood. Unfortunately, your wife is setting your daughter up for lifelong health issues. Update: am I the idiot for trying to help my daughter lose weight? First of all, I want to thank everyone for their support. I hope you all took that walk. Anyway, we did end up sending Susan to her grandparents, but only for 2 weeks. During that time, my wife and I got to really talk and air out our feelings. My wife told me that as a child, she was very large. She was nearly morbidly obese by the time she was a teen, and her parents gave her a terrible time about this. Forced her to diet, would lock her out of the house to force her to exercise, tell her PE teacher to make her run extra laps, and locked up food so she couldn't eat. It is something she doesn't like to talk about. I had no idea this had happened to her. She was in tears and explained that she thought I might do the same things to Susan. I know my wife is big, but it never bothered me. I married her because I love her. She's a wonderful wife and mother, but like all of us, she just let her insecurities get the better of her. This is why she freaked out when I started getting Susan to go running with me. Anyway, after our talk, we agreed that we can do all of this as a family. I bought some bikes for us, downloaded family exercise videos, family mealtime, healthy shopping together. So now she's joining us on our runs. Don't worry, Susan and I slow it down to a jog so she can keep up. I just wish she had opened up sooner about this. At least it's out in the open now. A lot of people said I sounded like the perfect dad for what I did with Susan. I'm not perfect. I just know what it's like to not have a father. My dad decided when I was 2 that he didn't want to be a dad anymore. He packed up and left in the middle of the night, leaving just me and Mom. Never heard from him again. He didn't call, write, or even send child support. I have no idea where he is now, and I don't care to know. My mom worked 2 jobs to support us. We moved 6 times, and it was tough. I had plenty of men in my life as role models, but I didn't have a dad at the end of the day. I told myself that if I got to be a dad, I would be the dad I would want, be the dad I wish my dad had been to me. I see a lot of myself in Susan. That's why I want her to know that no matter what, I love her. That's why I adopted her. That is why I don't call her my stepdaughter, because she's my daughter. She is my little girl, and I wanted to know that she is always loved and can come to me about anything. Kids have it hard enough these days. I wanted to know that we can go for a walk when things get hard and just talk about it. I thought this had something to do with your wife's past. Her parents were cruel to her. I really think therapy would be a big help for her. You keep doing what you do, being an amazing dad and husband. Great update, and I get your wife's reaction. Growing up, my mother wasn't as bad as your wife's parents, but literally almost every day, my weight was the topic. I was told to go ride my bike, get out of the house, pretty much constantly reinforced that something was wrong with me. As I got older, it was always the first thing she'd mention. Either I looked like I lost a few pounds, or I needed to be careful because I had clearly gained, without fail, always a topic of conversation. Just remind yourself to be sensitive to never come across this way. Your intentions are good. You're going about it fantastically and lovingly. Just be cautious to always put family time as a priority over the exercise. You are awesome. Thank you for being a good dad from someone who faced emotional and psychological mistreatment from a narcissistic father and had no protection from a weak, dependent mother. I am 44 female and still struggle, and when I hear from dads like you, it makes me cry for my inner child and the little me I was and how my parents' behavior affected my life. Dads are so important for little girls and boys, and it sounds like you're the type of father many women did not have. Just do what you're doing as a father and husband. You are doing great. I'm 42 male, am engaged to who I feel is the one, 33 female. We have been dating for just over 3 years, and I proposed last month. Last night, after another session of wedding planning, my fiance asked if I would be all right with her being a stay-at-home wife. At first I laughed because I thought she was joking, but she was being very serious. Finally, she told me not to laugh and she wants to be a stay-at-home wife. I asked her why, as we both make pretty good money at our jobs. However, we can't afford our current lifestyle with just one income. She says it's because I make a lot more, which is true. I make about 40% more than her. So we could scale back our lifestyle, and said, it's been on my mind a lot. I think working 9 to 5 just isn't for me. I asked her if she was being serious, and she confirmed that she is. I said that I'm not comfortable with that idea and said maybe she could be a stay-at-home mom if we have kids, but I'm not cool with her being a stay-at-home wife. She said that I was being manipulative since we're both child-free, but I just said that as a hypothetical since I'm not at all okay with being the sole breadwinner. That divulged into a pretty heated argument with her saying I should support her dreams. She never stated what she wants to do with her staying at home time, even though I did ask. So this is where I may be the idiot. In the heat of the moment, I said, where's this coming from? Why is it your dream to be a stay-at-home wife? Is it your dream to be lazy? She got really upset at that and has gone to her mother's and said, we'll talk more when you calm down. I'll be real here. I don't want her to be a stay-at-home wife. I'm not okay with being the sole breadwinner, and I do not wish to support this dream. I want a life partner, not a dependent doing nothing productive with their days. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Being a stay-at-home mom is a job, assuming that said mother is doing the childcare and not leaving all of the work to a team of nannies and housekeepers. Being a stay-at-home wife with no plans for childcare is not on the same level. If it's something you both agree on, then that's one thing. But you've made it clear that you're looking for a partner, not a sugar baby. Not the idiot. What you said may have been a bit cruel. Just because she will be home doesn't necessarily mean it's her dream to be lazy. However, I don't think you were too far off base. You asked her what she would do with her free time, and it doesn't seem like she had an answer for you. She claims that it is her dream, but she doesn't clarify what the dream is. Without any clear-cut goals for what she would want to do, I think your concerns are more valid. You do not want to be the only source of income, and I think that's perfectly reasonable. It can be stressful to provide for a family on your own. LOL, support her dreams? If my husband had a dream to go back to college, I would support that. If he had a dream to start his own business in an area he was passionate about, I would support that. If he had a dream to sit on his butt and play video games, be a stay-at-home husband, he would soon be supporting my dream to be divorced. It sounds like you and your fiancé have very different values in life. You are not the idiot. She's being manipulative, bordering on gaslighting, for claiming that you are the one being manipulative, for not wanting to completely support her dreams. What kind of bullcrap is that? She wasn't born a trust fund baby or a member of the landed gentry, so I don't know where this expectation that she'll find someone to support her originates. Was her mother a stay-at-home wife or mom? Oh, and don't forget, she's gone to her mother's now. I'm afraid that she may not be the one, and that this relationship may very well be over.